Hi viewers, welcome to Facebook live session. At least 10 million people suffer from gallbladder stones, and there are a lot of misinformation about this disease. And there are a lot of myths going around. So to clear all this, today we have Dr. J. Saravanan, a distinguished MCH qualified hepatopancreatic biliary and GI surgeon with over 14 years of experience with VS Hospitals, Chennai. Welcome, Dr. Saravanan, to the live.
Good evening, Arun. Very good evening.
Dr. Saravanan, how important is gallstone disease in our community?
See, gallstone disease is one of the most common cause of abdomen pain. It affects not only children, it affects all the ages, especially from children to elderly people. It affects not only the gallbladder, it affects other organs like pancreas or its pathway, common bile duct, or even liver, or even the colon, which is adjacent to the gallbladder. And it is one of the most common surgery performed by the gastrointestinal surgeon. So you can think about the amount of work that has been done to get rid of this disease.
Think about the amount of.
And also, it is a simple curable disease. But if you neglect, or there is a delay in approaching the doctor, then you might land up in various complications, ranging from multiple procedure to even ICU admission. That's why I like to highlight the pathogenesis and how to treat the diseases today.
That was very good information, Dr. Saravanan. How gallstone formed?
See, gallstone diseases are formed due to complex interaction of genetic and environmental factors like diet, lifestyle, and lack of physical activity. See, now bile is needed for the digestion of fat, and it is secreted in the liver and gets stored in the gallbladder. Okay, so and the bile is in a liquid form, but when the constituent of the bile is altered, like cholesterol or bile salts and calcium, then you are bound to have a gallstone disease. It might be due to the secretion, increased secretion from the liver, or increased absorption from the intestine, or it might be due to the bile infection, or due to the improper contraction of the gallbladder. So all put together forms plays an important role in the pathogenesis of gallstone disease.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you. Doctor, who are all at risk of getting gallstone disease?
See, when you understand the pathogenesis, then you can easily identify the persons who will get affected by the gallstone disease. The first and foremost important is the diet. That is taking unhealthy, unhygienic, high caloric, high fatty diet. You are bound to get a gallstone disease. Another major important factor is the obesity, which is a problem in not only in developed countries and developed nations like India. Obesity is becoming a huge economical problem. So that's one of the major factor identified for the development of gallstone disease. See, nowadays there is more awareness about weight gain, but weight loss awareness is less. Nowadays, once there is any social fad or any social indifference is there, then they will suddenly stop everything. They will start doing exercise. There will be sudden weight loss. Might be more than 1.5 kg of weight loss per week. You're bound to get gallstone diseases. So not only the weight gain, weight loss also plays an important role. And other major factor is this one, physical inactivity. Okay, the physical inactivity, that is sitting is a new smoking. That is lack of activity, physical activity is a new bad habit, a bad evil. So those things are plays an important role. And taking unhygienic, unhealthy food also contributes to the bile infection. These are the major contributors. The minor contributors are like gender. The female gender is more likely to get affected by the gallstone diseases. More than 3 times of male, the females are bound to get affected. So there is an analogy, or that's how we remember by mnemonics, by 4F, female, 40, fertile, fatty. These are the 4 important things which will contribute for the, that's how we remember easily. And fertile means the pregnancy is one of the important factors. That is also because there is a hormonal changes in the pregnancy. Other things is like a cirrhotic, alcoholic liver diseases or Crohn's diseases, which affect the small bowel. And some of the antibiotics also will lead to gallstone diseases because liver is the organ where the metabolism occurs for the drugs. So everything will put together a multifactorial. These are the factors which will contribute. And these people, those people who are not aware of these factors will get affected by gallstone disease.
That was very elaborative, Dr. Sarwan. Will there be any signal symptoms?
The sign, you see, 80% of them will be asymptomatic. Only 20% of them will have symptoms. But these 20% of them, once they get affected, there is an increased frequency or increased severity of symptoms. The most common symptom they are likely to have is a right side upper quadrant pain. Okay. So that pain they will remember clearly because it will be a severe, discrete pain. Once they get the pain, they won't forget. They will clearly remember the date and time also. And it will be radiating to back and to the right shoulder also. So these are the symptoms they might get. Added to that, they may get nausea and vomiting due to the severity of the pain. See, why I'm telling 1 to 5 hours is, once it goes and obstructs the neck, then they will have pain for 1 to 5 hours. Once it gets released due to the bowel valve effect, then the pain will go off. They should not think that the pain has gone, so the pathology is resolved. It's not like that. They are bound to have a recurrence of symptoms. Other things is a fever. Once they get fever, then there is a persistent obstruction of stone in the gallbladder neck. Then they should immediately approach the surgical gastroenterologist, who's likely to give a solution to that.
That's a very useful information, Dr. Sarwan. Dr. Sarwan, there is one viewer who wants to ask you this question.
Okay.
Mr. Rajkumar, what are the likely complications if you're not getting proper treatment for gallstones disease?
See, as I told you, it is a simple curable disease, completely curable disease. But once you neglect or delay, then you are bound to land up in complications. Like the gallbladder stones might escape from the gallbladder and it will go and obstruct the common bile duct, and thereby increasing the bile in the liver, causing jaundice. That is surgical jaundice. And the same stones can be descend downwards and cause an obstruction in the pancreatic pathway. Then it will cause a pancreatitis, pancreatic abscess, then pancreatic necrosis. See, as I told you, it's a simple disease. But once you neglect, then you are bound to have other organs also affected, other complications. And once the infection goes up, then you land up in a cholangitis. And if the stone is very big and it obstructs the neck of the gallbladder, then there is no escape for the bile from the gallbladder. Then it becomes full of pus. And it is called empyema. And if the persistent infection is there, then the gallbladder wall will get necrosed and it will cause a gangrenous cholecystitis. So you can see the myriad of complications from a simple stone disease. Unlike the kidney stones, your gallbladder stones affects the various organs. So these are the complications you can expect. As a expertise in this one, we used to manage all these things. So one simple procedure of doing a lap cholecystectomy, that is removal of gallbladder, you will land up other organs. We need to resolve or to subside all the symptoms in the other organ. Then only we'll be able to clear the gallbladder stones.
Dr. Saravanan, that is very, very useful information to all our viewers. Does it run in families?
See, I already told you, it is the 20 to 30% only genetic component is there. 80%, 70 to 80% is environmental factor, like diet, lifestyle, this one sedentary lifestyle. Those things plays a major role. So you need to think about the 80% rather than thinking about the 20%. The 20% is due to the genes have been identified, where there is a gene for the gallbladder contraction and liver, the cholesterol secretion from the liver. These are only 20%, but major 80% are in our, within our eye. So we can manage those things rather than thinking about 20% and getting frightened.
Thank you, Dr. Saravanan. What are the investigation one has to undergo for gallstones?
See, a simple ultrasonogram will identify gallstones. In uncomplicated cases, gallstones can be identified easily by the ultrasonogram. But in a complicated case where you have a persistent pain, a fever, then one has to undergo contrast against CT scan, which will give a clear picture about the thickness of the wall and other adjacent structures involved, and pancreatitis if it is developed. So those things we can be identified. And if there is any alteration in the liver function test, then we need to go for an higher test like MRI with the MRC to identify the obstruction in the pathway also.
Is there any medical treatment, Dr. Saravanan?
See, it is the medical treatment is unsuccessful or unlikely to resolve your problem. Because if you take medicine, then it will the mechanism by which it resolves is very, very less. A very, very less percentage only the stones will get resolved. And it will take longer time. See, if you have 1 centimeter to get dissolved, it will take years. And in the meantime, you will land up in like complications, which I told, like CBD stones or pancreatitis or empyema or gangrenous. So medical treatment is unsuccessful in the management of gallstone diseases.
What are the surgical options, Dr. Saravanan?
See, surgical options nowadays, laparoscopic cholecystectomy is a gold standard procedure. That is a keyhole surgery. We will put 2-3 holes and we can easily remove the gallbladder. And if it is an expert and super specialist like us, be able to do justice to the patient. So why I'm telling laparoscopy is it has got a lot of benefit. It has got very less pain, less blood loss, and one is 2-3 holes, so better osmosis and quicker recovery is quicker recovery will be there. So the cost will also come down. So these are the benefits one gets by undergoing laparoscopic cholecystectomy. But if the patient is unfit due to cardiac problems or lung issues, then one needs to undergo ultrasonic guided or CT guided aspiration of bile from the liver by puncturing the skin. So that will settle the problem temporarily, and the patient will recover After sometimes they can undergo the definitive procedure of keyhole removal of gallbladder. Another important thing I like to highlight is nowhere in the world, so many patients will ask, sir, whether you will remove only the stones, which is unlikely. It's not possible because like kidney stones, unlike kidney stones, kidney is essential, whereas gallbladder is not essential for our body. And it is an end organ. It can go for a necrosis. So you no need to preserve the organ. And you are bound to have a recurrence and complications. So we need to remove the entire gallbladder along with the stones for the complete solution. Other things also, we are doing a single port gallbladder removal. Instead of putting 2 or 3 holes, we can put a single hole, and through that we can remove the gallbladder for an uncomplicated cases. But if the patient has other problems like CBD stones, then they will have 2 procedures. First, we need to put an endoscopic, then remove the pathway stones, that is common bile duct stones. After 2 or 3 days only, we'll be able to do the gallbladder by laparoscopy. So these are the various surgical options one has for the myriad of problems.
Thank you for educating Dr. Saravanan. Is there any apt time for laparoscopic surgery?
See, once the patient is symptomatic, sometimes it will be a biliary colic only. They will have for 1 or few hours, then it subsides. That is where they should not miss it. They should not neglect. So if the symptoms persist, they should immediately approach the surgical gastroenterologist. And if they remove, we can do all the battery of investigations, and we can subject the patient for the next morning itself. Within 24 to 72 hours, it's an ideal time to undergo the laparoscopy removal of gallbladder. After that, if it goes beyond 7 days, then the patient will have a conversion to open surgery. But we as a expertise will be able to finish by laparoscopic cholecystectomy by removing a part of a gallbladder. That is also a well validated procedure for the complicated gallbladder stones. But the ideal time will be within 72 hours, that is within 3 days. That's an ideal time for the treatment.
Thank you, Dr. Saravanan. Dr. Saravanan, there is one question from the viewer. How the diabetic patients should be aware about the gallstones?
See, the diabetic, especially the uncontrolled diabetic patients, they are very good habitat for the gallstone disease to thrive. Especially the gallstone is full of bacteria and other germs. So the uncontrolled blood sugar is another food for the bacteria to thrive and cause complications. So the diabetic patient should be more aware, and they should immediately approach the surgical gastroenterology for the solution, because the complications are more in the diabetic patients, like empyema gallbladder, gangrenous cholecystitis, and even cholangitis, where it will be a life-threatening one. So diabetic patient, especially uncontrolled diabetes, uncontrolled blood sugar, they are bound to land up in complications.
That's very useful, Doctor. Dr. Saravanan, there is one more viewer who is, is actually requesting you, because you have already spoken about the sign and symptoms. Jubilee is asking for, the symptoms of gallstones once again. Can you educate us once again, please?
See, it will be mostly the patient will be asymptomatic with gallstones, but if the patient has a symptom, they are more likely to have an increased frequency, and there will be more of a right side upper quadrant abdominal pain. for 1 to 5 hours. This is because the time why I'm telling this, the stone will go and obstruct the neck of the gallbladder. But due to the ball valve effect, it might come out into the gallbladder. That time you might have a resolution of gallbladder, but still the patient will suffer from the gallstone disease. So it will be it will be a severe pain. That's what I told you. It will be a severe pain. The patient will clearly remember the date and time of the symptoms. And there will be associated dyspepsia also, like nausea, vomiting, and other problems like fever.
Thank you, Dr. Saravanan. Hope Jubilee, you got your answer. Dr. Saravanan, how and why pregnant women gets affected by gallstones frequently?
See, pregnancy itself, as I told you, we remember by analogy. That is 4F. That is female, fatty, fertile, 40 years. Those people will bound to have gallstone diseases. A pregnancy is an important contributor. Why? Because there is extensive hormonal changes during pregnancy. So this will contribute, especially the estrogen and progesterone. The hormones will contribute for the increased gallstones or gallbladder sludge. 30% of the pregnant lady is bound to have gallstone diseases. And it can be easily manageable once you identify. The patient will present with the same symptoms, but we should not get confused with the pregnancy pain, labor pain. We need to identify it properly. And those patients can be managed conservatively by giving antibiotics or painkiller. But still, if it is not subsiding, then we can take up for surgery in the second trimester. That is from the 3rd to 6 months. Nowadays, we have started doing even around 6 to 9 months to get rid of the problems. But sometime the patient will settle down with the painkiller and antibiotics. But once it's settled down, after pregnancy, we'll remove the gallbladder so that it won't have an recurrent attacks. So it won't affect the upcoming of the bringing of child. So they will have a post-pregnancy normal life.
Dr. Saravanan, what is the correlation between gallbladder cancer and gallbladder stones?
See, there is no direct correlation or evidence to support the gallstones and the gallbladder. There is only a coincidental appearance of gallstones in the gallbladder cancer. But few factors has been identified, like the size. The size matters. Okay. Usually the size doesn't matter in the gallbladder. Even a small sized gallbladder stones will cause a lot of problems. A large sized gallbladder might have a less complication also. So size doesn't matter in a gallbladder stones. But whereas the patient has a huge gallbladder, for example, more than 3 centimeters, for a very long time of, for example, 20 years, or with the family histories there of gallbladder cancer, then they are bound to have a gallbladder cancer from the gallstone diseases. See, the gallstone diseases incidence is different. For example, North India, we have a large number of patients suffering from gallstone diseases. And they have a large incidence of gallbladder cancer also. The Gangetic Plain and Pakistan, those plains will have a more number of gallstone diseases and gallbladder cancer. So even though there is no direct correlation, we need to be aware of the gallstone diseases and gallbladder cancer.
Thank you for educating us, Dr. Saravanan. Dr. Saravanan, what is the take-home message?
See, I have discussed about the way it is formed, the high risk factor. So from this itself, you can identify how the gallstone is formed. Okay. So there is a saying in Tamil, Unave Marundu. That is, food is medicine. When you take proper food, proper amount,
That's great.
a proper hygienic food, then you may not suffer from any diseases, or you may not need any medicine at all. And those things has to be followed. Other the 80% is modifiable risk factors like diet. You need to avoid unhygienic, unhealthy, high caloric, high fatty diet. Nowadays in the modern society, especially with so much of social platform, you can order anything and have anything at any time to eat. So those needs to be curtailed. Eat right at right time. That is much more important. It is not only for the gallstone diseases, for other gastro-related problem also, it plays an important. We need to go back to our old age food. Okay, even the fermented rice, even those things are very good for all the gastro-related problems, not only for the gallstone diseases. There have been now a lot of studies going on for the Parayasol, that is fermented rice, where you will ferment the rice over the 12 hours then have, which is very nutritious with all the multivitamins. You don't need to take special drugs or special nutritious multivitamin at all. If you take proper food at right time, that is much more important. And another important factor is to see your weight. That's the most important thing. The obesity is a major factor which contributes to the gallstone diseases. At the same time, I like to highlight the weight reduction. The sudden weight loss also an important factor. Like if you are losing more than 1.5 kg per day, per week, then you're bound to have a gallstone diseases. Even though the awareness about the weight gain is there, the awareness about the weight loss is not there. And sitting is a new smoking. That is lack of physical activity. The sedentary lifestyle also contributes for the gallstone diseases and the other gastrointestinal problems. So we need to concentrate on those 80% rather than concentrating on 20%, whether you will have a genetic problem, whether there is a genetic contributors. So you need to understand all these factors to curtail the gallstone diseases. So that will be my important take-home message. If even fewer viewers take this message, then it is well and good.
Dr. Saravanan, coming from you, it's very, very important for us. You have really educated us on gallbladder stones. And doctor, there are a lot of viewers, they worry about this gallbladder stones. They are frightened actually. So is there anything to worry about? Or if they feel any symptoms, if they just walk in at the right time and consult the right specialist, I'm sure this can be cured.
Yes, especially
thank you so much, Dr. Saravanan, for staying with us.
Yes, especially the VS hospital is well equipped hospital, where a tertiary care center, where you can have all the gadgets and facilities, so that not only the gallstone diseases, liver, pancreas, and colonic cancers, those things are very well taken by the team of expertise. So one can avail these services. That's my take-home message. Thank you for the patient.
Dr. Saravanan, there is one more viewer by
Okay.
name Saravanan Annamale.
Okay.
What is fatty liver grade 1 meaning?
See, fatty livers, again, it comes under
Dr.
the
Saravanan,
physical.
there is
Can you
one
hear
more
me?
request. There is one more request from the viewer, Mr. Saravanan Annamale. What is fatty liver grade 1 meaning?
See, nowadays, each and every the ultrasonograms will carry fatty liver. That's because it is a major, the physical inactivity has contributed more for the fatty liver. So not only the obesity, the truncal obesity, or the visceral obesity contributes for the fatty liver. No need to worry about these things, because if you have a good habit, which will compound to your good health, physical activity itself, a very good solution for the fatty liver. If one has taken at least 45 minutes every 3 days, at least 3 days in a week, then fatty liver 1 or 2, you are not bound to have any problems. But if severe fatty liver, they can have a liver failure also. Some of them might land in liver transplant also. But I don't want to frighten you. But fatty liver is an extensive topic. We can discuss elaborately in our next meeting. But as of now, fatty liver, no need to worry.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Saravanan, one of your follower says you are the best GI surgeon in the country.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saravanan.
Thanks for your kind words.
For your valuable time. Thank you, viewers, for staying with us for the last couple of minutes with us. Next Thursday, that is 2nd December, we will be going live with Dr. J. Pantala Rajakumaran, who is a distinguished trauma and orthopedic surgeon. So till then, stay tuned. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saravanan.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.